Welcome back. President Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill is more than 1,000 pages, but at its core, it's about taxes. So how does that affect the pocketbook issues at play for everyday Americans? I know who to talk about. She is a tax attorney and contributor for Forbes. Jessica Ledingham is up late with me tonight here on the Final Five. Welcome in. Good to see you tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure.
I'm a big fan of your show.
Well, thank you very much. See, now you can come back. So look, this is not a done deal yet, but a lot of people are paying close attention to this because taxes. President Trump passed that tax package in 2017. This is going to codify a lot of that permanently here.
That is correct. And I do want to say it is not a permanent deal because it is going to the Senate. Mm-hmm. The Senate's going to write it up, and then they're going to bring it back down to the House, and they have to have one more vote. And Donald Trump is hoping to have this signed on 4th of July in his very spectacular grandeur. That is him.
It's all about symbolism when it comes to things like that, and especially in the name of the bill, because we've had these tax bills that have just like big, long, unwieldy titles. They try to be clever, and he was just saying, big, beautiful bill, bam. One big thing in this one that they're trying to make permanent to some extent is a child tax care credit. That was a game changer for a lot of parents, a lot of people last time around.
Yes, he is really trying to help people with children. So not only is he trying to codify the child tax credit, but he's also trying to get those MAGA accounts, mm-hmm. which is like your 529 plan, except this way when your kids, reach the certain age, I think it's 26, yeah. They can use it for anything. And so he's trying to, boost that as well as put in $1,000 of government money into those MAGA accounts. So
and so we talked about that. And if you look at the other side, the Democrats are saying, this really benefits people higher end earners, I guess, over a certain amount. I mean, based on the tax tables we've seen so far, it does seem like, the tax cuts, they make more money, they bring more money in, they're likely going to see bigger relief out of this.
That is true. I agree with that. It is kind of an all over the board thing. There's definitely a lot of kind of things that are not beneficial for the lower classes, we would like to believe. Mm-hmm. I think the no taxes on tips is a great example because I think obviously we're thinking, okay, that's going to benefit the waitresses, but really is it going to have the effect of a lot of fraud coming in where businesses are like, oh, actually we're going to pay you less so this way you can get more in tips, or, and try to save you money that way. And it's better for us because then the businesses are saving money by also not having to give you as much hourly pay and not being taxed on that.
Somebody had said, which I thought this was actually, I would love to see the extent in which they mean this, that you're about to see the tip screen in many more unexpected places there. But yeah. The reality is this is something that idea did get a lot of support from people on both sides of the aisle. It passed the Senate unanimously just a couple of days ago. For people who are, we're past tax day at this point. Is this kind of a slower period for you, or is it year round when you're a tax attorney?
It's year round because people are always being audited and people are always trying to make up for not filing their taxes for the past 10 years.
That's a little extreme, I think, in most cases here. But based on what we've seen with the tax cuts since that was passed in 2017 now, has the game changed a little bit when it comes time to filing those tax returns? Because I know anecdotally, I saw a lot of deductions go by the wayside. Now you have just the big standard deduction. You don't write off some other things, which I think for some people that's a good thing. Some people that's not such a good thing here. Has the process changed exponentially, or is it really just depending on your own personal circumstance?
So the process has not changed that much for individuals because they do just get the standard deduction, especially if they're W-2 earners. Mm-hmm. The process for self-employed individuals and 1099, that has changed because they're still able to find a lot of runarounds. And that's what I'm worried about with especially the no tax on tips and overtime is us seeing more fraud. Because even though we see good things come out of things such as the ERCTC, we saw a lot of fraud with it because people always find a way to game the system. And I think that that's just a big open door. But so will this help the individuals and make sure that they file promptly? Yes.
So as we look ahead here, and if this passes, this would take effect next tax year, the next tax season when a lot of these changes would kick in?
Yes, it is for the tax ones, correct.
Okay. Obviously, everybody's personal situation is going to vary on this one. But Jessica, great to see you tonight. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate you. Good seeing you. And the Final Five is back after this.